You know what? That didn't play from the beginning, did it?
It seemed to start, but I couldn't hear the music on my end, so that was another downfall.
Okay. Well, let's do it again because it's awesome.
Okay.
All right, that was better.
Was it?
Yeah. Uh, I One of my favorites. I love that. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Lil and Ember's out there so far. I'm sure some others will come in shortly. Jess is back on the Kentucky Atheist here. Uh, we're reviving a show we did last year, Spoiled Ham, where we spoil the horrible things that Ken Ham has to say.
You
Uh,
have lined up a horrible thing indeed, Joe. A
well,
horrible thing indeed.
we will in fact spoil some ham today. The Yeah, so uh, and I think like bringing this show back. I mean, right now the plan is to do it every week. I think that that's acceptable. But the going up into the art protest, I always want to the people that we're going to protest here to kind of look at what they're saying and um, kind of show the silly folks that they are. Uh, so we'll also cover some AIG stuff in this, not just Ken Ham. I know that like last year Ken Ham wasn't really you know leading AIG, and now he kind of is and kind of isn't again, and so we'll just cover both just to be safe. But yeah, what's up, Dave? Good to see you. Um,
Amber, hi, Lil. Who else?
yes,
Did I miss anyone? And Dave. Is it just Amber, Lil, and Dave so far?
yeah, in chat it is. We have more viewers than
Okay.
that, but that's in
So
chat. Yeah,
I just want to make sure I say hi.
yeah, yeah. Hey everybody, and yeah, I really look forward to doing this. I haven't done much like counter apologetics or atheist content or whatever in a while, and so this is kind of interesting for me. And today is, I will say, kind of light on the. Uh, I mean, I guess there's a mix of thing here, but it's not me. Ken is the one that goes into the political thing today. As they do. But anyhow, again, we brought this show back, and the ARC protest is going to be in July on the 12th in Williamstown, Kentucky. Uh, Jess made an awesome thing here we'll look at. She just made this today. Tell her how wonderful it is.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, yeah, so Williamstown, Kentucky on the 12th at noon. The Ark Encounter protest will kick off. As of right now, we've got Seth Andrews, Godless Engineers, No Illusions, and Godless Granny are our headline speakers. And we've got some other stuff planned too. We've got Black Non Believers will be there, Mandisa will be there, RFR will be there. Um, there's a group I'm forgetting. Tri-State
Uh,
Freethinkers is
okay.
going to be big time, helping us out with a lot of the equipment, and they will buy everybody lunch again and all that stuff. It'll be much like last year in that aspect. So, yeah, I know there's been kind of some changes along the way to where I kind of was and then wasn't doing this and then wasn't sure about the, how I was doing it and all those things. We've got all that worked out, and it will be much like last year as far as how it's organized, which won't really change much for the people that come to it. I mean, you'll see the same thing either way. But just so everybody out there knows, yeah, let's farm. I hope you make it, and welcome. So, and Jess, I don't think Jess is going to make it this year, but Jess is going to be
Chance.
helping a lot offsite, uh, doing a number
I'll
of
do some
things, right?
producing and helping out with just anything that I can do from my laptop at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, you've already made that was one of two ads that you've put together for social media. That everybody will be seeing around. I'll be posting that all over the place. If you follow me on my Discord server, there is a section Arc Encounter Protest 2026 that I'll put all updates and stuff in, and you can find any links and info and ask me questions about what's going on or whatever. And so all of that stuff. Um, Long drive to Kentucky from Canada. She did
It's
it
true.
twice last year. Yeah. So uh, there's that. Um, but yeah, I hope everybody can come see us and stuff. And if you can make it and show up, be sure to stop by and say hi at least. Or we'll have a like an Airbnb where anybody that comes, you're welcome to stop by and hang out or whatever. Whenever there's a free moment, there's a lot of. Uh, Last year I stayed rather busy, so I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think this year will be a little more smooth because I kind of know what to expect, and
Yeah, for sure.
some of the places that kept me busy for so long, I've already taking care of those things to make sure that it's not
Yeah.
like that. And but yeah, anyway, going to be an excellent time. Um, that speaker lineup, those four speakers are confirmed and will be there. Everything is already worked out as far as planning for that and confirmation and everything. Um, we may add somebody to that or persons to that even by the time it gets here, but those people will for sure be there speaking. Last year there was a little confusion with people just not showing up, not saying anything. Like we had Durante just kind of no showed on us. Him at Meta kind of like he didn't really so much.
That
I
was
mean,
me.
well, we couldn't get a hold of him for like weeks leading up to it. Like we both emailed him and tried to contact him and just didn't hear back, and things weren't really in place anyway. It was kind of disorganized a bit, and so I'll take credit for that as well. But yeah. Anyway, that's going to happen this way. It's going to be a big thing. This is the 10th anniversary of the original Ark Encounter protest and the opening of the Ark Encounter, all in one. So we're going to make a big deal about it. You're going to see a lot of that, and we hope to see everybody there.
We make signs that say measles encounter. Is that funny? Because that's one of the reasons I got banned on the Arc Encounter Facebook group was because I kept telling people that they had a measles outbreak there,
Well, I
and
mean,
they
we
don't
can
like people to
certainly,
know that.
yes, we can certainly put we will make sure that it's there and seen. I'll make sure we get that done. That's another thing too. Like last year, Jim and Tri-State Freethinkers brought a lot of signs and stuff that people used. This year, I want to have some people make some signs. I think like
I
the
think like a sign making party would be really a great time. Like go to Dollar Tree, get some stuff, and have fun with it.
yeah. Well, last year there was so there ended up being like 2 trips to Jim and Chrissy's
Mhm.
house, and they actually had stuff to make signs and everything, and that was going to be like what we did
Oh,
one of
did
those
they?
times, and
Uh-huh.
it just it it didn't work out. Everybody just wanted to ended up wanting to talk to each other, and um, I think. Uh, I ended up like carrying stuff out of the basement the whole time anyway, and so like none of that happened. But there'll be more organization as far as that goes, and some planning around the art protest itself that I'll announce as we get closer. Um, anyway, this is spoiled ham, so let's do that. All right. So our buddy Ken Ham is, as always, the well-spoken genius that he is, and a poster contest would be awesome. That's not a bad idea.
That would be awesome.
But Ken put out this video. This isn't his most recent video. This is just the one that caught my eye, and so it is within the last. I think. Well, it has to be within the last month, right? Because this has been going on for
Yeah,
a month. So
that sounds right.
I think this is like a couple weeks old, is what this is. But anyway, is this the end times? It says on the thumbnail, and this is the real reason for the Iran war. Can we have
I
someone assigned
also
to do heavy lifting? I want no one just hard give it out. Yeah, I've got
thank you,
people.
Aunt Chair.
I appreciate your concern. I have people that will be helping with that, and we're going to get uh, several methods of getting people out of the sun and staying cool and all that. And that is one thing. If you plan on coming, um, you know, prepare
Bring a
like
tent.
it's yeah, yeah. Bring a tent. Um, Prepare like not like a tent you camp in, like a canopy. Um,
No.
yeah. The plan on being in the hottest environment you've ever experienced. Because Kentucky is hell. So, but yeah, it's going to be hot. It was last year. It was very very hot, and but prepare for that. Don't underestimate it. It's going to be hot. All right, let me pull up this video here, and we'll take a look at it. All right. So the Ark Encounter is in Williamstown, Kentucky, which is right outside of Louisville, and close to Cincinnati. I mean, I guess it's technically closer to like Newport. Louisville's kind of over there, but anyway, that's the general area: Central Kentucky, North Central Kentucky, I guess. And Kim Ham lives there as well, uh, close to it. He doesn't live in Williamstown, I don't think, but he lives like the next little town over. Uh,
Oh, like in Dry Ridge.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think anyway. I've seen
Yeah,
pictures where you can see the arc in the background, but I think those are done from the offices.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but Ken Ham lives close by, so thank you, Australia, for sending us your best.
Are you
I would
gonna
trade a
call
Ken
them
Ham.
and tell them we're protesting?
Oh yes, of course. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Uh, uh, I would trade a Ken Ham for a Mark Reed. Uh, can we? Can we? I don't know
I
if
would
Mark would be
love
down
that.
for it, but
For a brief interlude in America, perhaps. And then I'll steal him away to Canada.
we'll tell Ken Ham that there's demons running around Australia and he's really needed there. Uh,
It's true. It's
yeah.
true.
They've they're winged demons, and they once fought an army and won. Uh,
Oh.
uh, Emus is the joke, but it didn't go well. I would trade Ken Ham for a drop bear. Yeah,
I don't know what that
yeah.
means.
No, and you never will.
Why?
my understanding is that drop bears are like a cryptid top deal, right? Like like so it's
Oh.
like not exactly a cryptid, but like a mythological thing, kind of. A
Oh,
drop
it's a
bear is a koala.
koala?
Yeah, but it's
Like a
it's
cryptid version of a
it's
koala?
not just koala. Am I correct?
Oh.
Uh,
Like a
like
griffin koala.
I asked this question before and got several different answers. That's why I
Okay.
say it's that.
Oh, because I see. They fall
Okay,
asleep and fall out of the trees.
I would gladly change. I mean, sure. If it's for koalas, we would trade Kinhan for that definitely. Um, like a rabid koala
Koala
on
on
meth.
meth.
Yeah,
That they're gonna make a movie now, Aunt Cher. That there's no stopping that. They made a whole thing about a cocaine bear.
you can come to Kentucky and see the cocaine bear. Actually,
Why?
it's
Why?
here.
Oh my gosh.
Even though that story, so the story, a lot of people place it in Kentucky because the bear is here, but that didn't actually happen in Kentucky. Uh, but
Was it an
it
American thing though?
yeah, it happened in Tennessee. Like it's a true
Oh, in
story.
Tennessee. Okay.
Or maybe it was further south than that. But it didn't happen here. But there's this museum of like weird things in Kentucky, and they have the actual um, stuffed cocaine bear, uh,
Oh,
the actual bear.
yeah.
So
So do they like cover him in cocaine on the daily? Is that a thing that happens? Is that like when you
no,
show
no.
meat to a live bear at a zoo and then you see them at the zoo and they're eating, right? So do they take the cocaine and then just put it on the bear and they're like, "Oh, look, a cocaine bear."
Um, now the pictures I've seen, it's just a taxidermy bear. Like
Yeah. I like my
you know
idea better.
no, I agree. Uh,
Okay.
Now I don't know if they have done something like that. I imagine they didn't use actual cocaine, but the I don't know if they've done that place does some weird stuff like that, so it's a good possibility. They have all kinds of oddities and stuff. I forget the name of that
Okay.
place, um, but yeah, it's in Kentucky. So yeah,
I noticed that Mr. Ham here is not in the place that he is wearing his adorable grandpa cardigan like he was like when we had covered him before. What is the reason, do you think, for his change in locale?
I don't know. I I don't
The
know
lighting is
if
less good.
yeah, it kind of seems like this was done from a mobile device, given the
Yeah,
the portrait
yeah,
layout, and so maybe this was just they were maybe he was just either in his home office, which the bookshelf behind him says home office to me,
yeah,
but I noticed there's like no pictures, there's nothing personal there, so this may just be like
right.
um it I'm not sure. My guess is this is him at the offices of the Ark Encounter or Creation Museum. Maybe he's at the Creation Museum. Um, the other studios being fumigated for measles. Absolutely. Perfect
Love that.
response.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. I don't know. And you're right. He's dressed differently. Um,
You think he's gonna do the whoosh?
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that. I think he
Okay.
did a lot less of it. If but we'll see because see, I think that they like intended to set up and just shoot like a short or something here, and then
Yeah.
he rambled on for too long, which you'll see he does, which
Okay.
him and I share that trait. But but yeah, uh, let's listen to him.
We live in interesting times. You can sit in a chair in your house and watch a war happening around the globe somewhere. And of course, we're seeing
Can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear him. Thank you for
Okay,
checking.
okay.
the sad situation over there in Iran and what's happening there. It's interesting. There was a Fox News article. Let me read you the exact quote. Fox News digital investigation shows hardline Shiite ideologues framing conflict between US and
Wait,
Iran as prophecy.
is he using Fox News as an actual source of news as though everyone's going to believe it? I guess they will. They're all conservative Christians, aren't they?
Yeah, it's kind of their thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Look, this made for jokes thing says what we want it to say.
yeah, yeah. He, funny enough, so there's layers to it here. He actually uses Fox News but he uses it not to disagree with Fox News, to disagree with Islam. Like, there was no real reason to even include this, um, but he did. You know, uh, yeah, you'll see in a second. It really he didn't need to include this, but I mean, I guess he thought for the sake of the video it was worth doing.
For the arrival of the Mahdi or Messiah. Well, that's very interesting. One of the things that has become very, very obvious is the conflict in Iran is really from the Iran side being driven by their eschatology, if you like, by their understanding of end times. Now,
I question. So does he not think it's about the oil?
He doesn't really get into that. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was saying. This is kind of a weird video for him because, excuse me, he he brings up eschatology here and is pointing out that like Iran sees this as a religious war and that bringing about the end times, which there's a bit of irony there. The Many Christians view it that way too, only different
Yeah,
eschatology.
that's true. True.
It was nice of him to give some form of a
A
definition.
definition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm kind of surprised he even did. But one of the few times what Ken Ham says matches some source. So
they believe that a sort of a Messiah is going to appear, that Jesus will return. Now, they don't believe that Jesus is divine. They don't believe that Jesus is God, but he's a prophet. And they do say he's the Messiah, but he comes and this other Messiah, if you like, but they don't really use the word Messiah, called Mahdi, then comes to fight, and Jesus, as this prophet, comes behind the Mahdi to fight this evil one called Dajjal. Now, some of them have suggested that Trump is the Dajjal, this evil one, sort of like what some Christians would call the Antichrist or something like that. And there's going to be this battle. But the whole point of this, they see this as all related to end times. And so then there'll be this battle and bring in Islamic rule on the earth. That's how they see it. So really from their perspective, from these
I
hardline Shiites, it's
you
driven
wanted
by
that
their
for you.
ideology in regard to what they believe concerning eschatology, concerning end times, and of course their belief concerning Jesus and this Mahdi that's going to arise, who supposedly is the 12th Imam and in the line of Muhammad. It's all very complicated. And when you look at it all, but
Imam. Sorry, he doesn't know how to say the things, and it's like fingers on a blackboard.
Yeah. So the funny thing about this is like he's sitting here, and it is almost his lack of self awareness is what sticks out here. Where it's like you're
Yes.
telling the
Yes.
exact same story that you believe, only using different words that you don't know.
Well, we believe this, but it's the same thing we believe, but different words.
He said it's
Like,
all very
that's
complicated.
so complicated.
it's it's all very complicated, even and but it's the same thing that you believe, just different characters playing the parts.
Yes.
And he even says, Trump is this Dajjal, which is kind of like the
Yes.
Antichrist, and the Mahdi is kind of like the Messiah, and like he makes all these comparisons along the way, and then says, "Oh, it's complicated." Um, the thing where they show the Islamic flag, uh,
Yes.
or I don't even know if that was an Islamic flag. I think that was an Iranian flag, actually. The
Oh,
they they show that um, to say like Islam is going to take over to make it look like it's a nation or something
yeah.
when it's a religion. So he kind of that I think that was kind of purposely thrown in there. It was clearly like an AI thing, but um, his just lack of understanding that what he's talking about is the exact same thing. And if it stopped there, you would be like, "Oh, well, you totally misunderstood, that you believe the same thing you're sitting here calling complicated." But it doesn't end there, unfortunately.
I have a question actually for Aunt Jer before you
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
play again. My audio has been crap for ages. Could you let me know if it's like echoing or doing anything like that? I trust Aunt Jer on this because she is always on me, and I want to make sure that I am not like if I need to be pushing this and like muting during it so that it sounds better, she could let me know. That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
So the feedback that we got a moment ago was from me because
Okay.
I can't hear the audio on the um, so like I can hear your audio on my headphones. This audio won't
Right.
come through my headphones for some reason, so I have
Okay.
to mute my microphone and turn up this device to hear it, and then switch back
Oh
and forth.
damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
fun times. All right.
My volume up? No, that's as loud as mine goes. At least on my end over here. I don't know if Joe has a way to put it up a little bit more, but that's turned up as loud as she goes over here.
It helps if I'm not muted while I'm talking. Um,
Oh, that works.
what I said is if it will help if it's an issue, I can turn my volume down, and then you guys can turn up the video volume to get us both kind of at the same level if I need to. Um, just let me know in the chat if I need to do something like that. I can also turn down the video volume some. Just let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for now while you guys figure it out.
point is, it's their eschatology that's really driving a lot of these hardline Shiite Muslims. Of course, from a Christian perspective, We know that Jesus is God. We do know that he's going to return again. In fact, in the Bible, in Acts chapter 1, verses 9 to 11, after he had said these things, so that was Jesus, he was lifted up while they were looking on, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And as they were gazing intently into the sky while he was going, behold, two men in white clothing stood beside them. They also said, Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking toward heaven? This Jesus who has been taken up from you to heaven will come in just the same way as you have watched.
So, Ken Ham then, like, does he realize that Islam also has a book that says the things that
The things, yes. Well,
yeah.
but as Christians, we know,
He said a matter of
we
fact.
know. Matter of fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. That fact is doing a lot of lifting there, huh?
It is.
um yeah, that's why I liked this video and why I picked it, because it was like he's sitting here and he's like, well, as Christians, we know that the Bible says this. And it's like, yeah, but just the same as the story you just told was exactly the same as your eschatology, um,
Yes.
this is exactly the same as well. They got this from their holy book that says a thing.
It says a thing. Yep.
Yes. Uh, the background air noise was Joe. Oh, are you hearing my fan now? Is that what's going on?
Oh, maybe.
You're gonna have to. I'm sorry, it's hot. Uh, next time I'll have that fixed. But, but yeah, do you do you see what he's doing here? How it's just the exact same thing?
It is the exact same thing, and his absolute blindness to that is unshakable. I don't see how you can't see. But I guess, like,
Yeah.
I used to be there. It was just such a long time ago when I would make the exact same comparisons and say things like, "Well, we know we have the truth because Jesus died for our sins."
Right.
Like, it's all within everything. None of it is from the world of man. Ooh.
Eh, Right.
Um,
And I
sorry.
think, like, for somebody who, if there's somebody who doesn't really understand what a presuppositionalist is, watch
Yeah.
Ken Ham, because he demonstrates it, like, here, where he's just like, oh, well, this is obviously true and we know and this is a fact, and he just
Yes.
inserts all of that, like, and it's a big fat claim, but he just goes ahead and assumes the truth of it.
This is from Acts, right? Yeah.
Sorry. uh he yeah, I don't, and again, like I had said earlier, like, if he stopped there with his lack of self-awareness, it would be,
Mhm.
okay, Christian God doing his thing. This just goes to show you, you don't have to have any common sense or any sense at all to trick Kentucky into making taxpayers subsidize your religious organization.
That's true. That's true. But they're so afraid of outside influence that they make everyone sign a statement of faith and saying that they won't participate in, like, gay and lesbian relationships.
Right. Meanwhile, the gas station next to it says they all come down there and drink in the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah, well, not all, but the bus driver, the one that does the of all people, the bus driver that does the shuttles.
Like in between the Creation Museum shuttle? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, he comes to the parking lot of the gas station, sits out there, and drinks.
Okay.
Uh, that's what they said. That's not my claim. I'm not stating that as fact. That's what we were told. Um, in Williamstown, we ran into quite a few people who were not fans of Ken Ham or the Ark Encounter Creation Museum,
Yeah.
or any of it. Like, so yeah. But yeah, there's that.
Watched him
Can
go
you?
into
Oh,
heaven. And
sorry.
of course, we have not.
No, it
Go
was an
ahead.
after thing. I can message you about it after. No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Seen that yet, but as Christians, we do look forward to the second coming when Jesus will return. But in the meantime, what should we as Christians be doing? Well, Mark 16:15 says, "And he said to them, Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation." And that's given in a bit more detail in Matthew 28, verses 18 to 20. And Jesus came up and spoke to them, saying, All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to keep all that I commanded you. And behold, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. You know,
So he's saying to go out and make it a Christian nation. Is that not what he's saying there in the Bible?
Yeah. So he's saying like, what should we be doing as Christians, whether this is the end times or not? And what we should be doing is telling people this is definitely true. You should believe it because it says so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I understand it, Let's Farm, it's on the other side of Kentucky, but uh, I think Joe's closer to the border that
Yeah.
direction.
So I live on the West Virginia border. The Ark Encounter is about 2 hours and 20 minutes from here, uh, in Williamstown. It's in between like Lexington and Louisville, if that helps.
We stayed in
Closer to
Ohio
Louisville.
last year, right on the border, and it was like an hour drive, I think, into the Ark, which wasn't too bad. And the place that we had rented in Ohio was a really nice place. Um, and I regret that I wasn't able to come and see yours and hang out with all of you guys. I think that would have been a lot of fun because I probably would have made some of you play board games with me.
I I was that's twice now we've played board games and
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have. Uh, we had actually played board games at gyms too, and didn't play them there either.
I played Werewolf at gyms. We played Werewolf, what's it called?
Oh,
One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
well,
That was a good game.
Jim has a heck of a collection of game
He
stuff.
does. He has some that I have. I'm very impressed with his collection.
Yeah, yeah, uh, and a very very nice home. Uh, One of the nicer homes I've ever been in.
Hmm. Very nice.
That may say
Very
more about
nice
me.
people.
Yeah. Um, yeah. No. And to be clear, the tri-state freethinkers are the ones that have done this protest, leading up until the last one, and they kind of they didn't do a whole lot in the last one. They bought lunch, and when I say they didn't do a lot, that's not true. They provided all of the equipment and their home and
Yeah.
they did all kinds of things. The planning and lead up to it was kind of like, we're here if you want to ask questions, but we don't want anything else to do with it. We want to break from it. And
Yeah.
this year is different in that aspect because they are sponsoring the thing. But it was better to have me just do what I did last year.
Yeah.
And so they are taking a bigger role. They're responsible for snagging Seth and Noah as speakers. Chrissy has been in communication with me and Jess the whole time, and so there was blackjack and hookers though. uh, the they have they they're doing a lot of stuff, and again they're going to buy lunch and they're going to they're going to help out with a lot of different things. It just made more sense to let me turn me loose and let me do my thing,
Yeah.
which I had not planned on doing, but uh, you know, uh, it just made sense to do it that way, and so they are still, you know, they're going to be there just the same, and are helping out in a number of ways, and love to work with them. Got to meet with their board a couple days ago, and great group of people. One of their people in particular does a lot of stuff about how religion harms children and stuff, and she's interested in working with me on some other stuff. So we're going to eventually have that conversation. Maybe once this is over. Let's get through this first. But
All right.
but yeah, um, yeah. Tri-State Freethinkers has done this for years, and it is very much what we're doing is based on the format that is tried and true for them, and with their help and input. And um, it wouldn't have happened last year without them, and it probably wouldn't be able to happen this year without them. That they provide that much help. So just to be clear, I don't want to take away from how much value they add to it.
After man sinned, and we read that account in Genesis chapter 3, in Genesis 3:15, God gave the promise of the Savior. And that's what the Bible is all about. It's about man's relationship to God, our problem called sin, our separation from God, and our need of salvation. And so God promised a
This is a
Savior.
bad
And so the
BDSM thing.
solution to all man's problems has always been God's word and the gospel. I don't want you to misunderstand me, but I find today there's a lot of Christians that seem to concentrate on eschatology, and their eschatology drives how they see things in regard to what they should be doing. For instance, there were people that told us we shouldn't be building the Creation Museum or the Ark Encounter because Jesus is coming back soon, and what a waste of time that would be. Well, we've
So your own people are telling you? Joe, you're muted.
Wouldn't it be something if he continued to do the same thing nested within the thing he's already doing?
Yeah.
Where he says, "Oh, Christians are focused on eschatology and this and that," and then proceeds to focus on eschatology. Wouldn't that be something? Um, the the I mean, it's very much been like the driving force of Christianity is that you believe. I mean, it is like one of I would say, the main principles of Christianity, that you believe that Jesus died for your sins and is going to return. Um, like that.
I think
That's
Hovind and Ham disagree on whether, like, with the end times when it's going to happen, and like versus whether people will be raptured before or after.
yeah. So Ken Ham actually explains his position on that a little bit, which is different than you hear from most mainstream Christian groups, and certainly not what you hear from apologists usually.
Right.
But and I imagine we'll point out the part where they disagree without trying, because again, what he's saying here. Um, oh, so many Christians seem to focus on eschatology. Yeah, it's kind of been the basis for your whole movement. Like, um, and he, you know, one of the things that Ken Ham says, and the AIG constantly says in almost all of their presentations, is that we need to quit listening to man's word and listen to God's word,
It's God's
and
word.
that the Bible is literally true. Uh,
Yeah.
so he does do, at least he's consistent within this to where he's using the Bible and the exact words in it to prop up his position, which you can prop up any position with the Bible, because it says so many contradictory things. Uh,
Oh, but it's perfect, Joe.
yeah,
There's no contradictions in that book. None.
yeah.
Not even in Genesis.
Well, I mean, this will. I'm gonna post this, and it'll be on both of our channels. But
Okay.
so there's a link to an interactive link to lots and lots of contradictions in the Bible. Um, so yeah, so I'm not just
Awesome.
saying there are contradictions. There they are.
Yeah.
I just happen to have that handy.
Nice.
It's on my bookmarks bar in my browser.
Yeah.
uh, but uh, but yeah, and if you're watching over on Jess's channel, come over here, like and subscribe. And if you're over here, go over to how to roll an asteroid, and we can also, if you're in my chat. Sorry, I posted that one on your channel and didn't need to, but
That's okay.
if you're over here, that should pop up a link that will take you over there. It should. It has not yet.
It has
Why
not.
has it not?
Hmm.
Why is it not doing its thing?
It's okay. We'll figure it out for next time.
Huh. Okay. I definitely have that set up. That was one of the first ones I put in there. Anyway, um, yeah, do the thing, and there's, so I'm not just saying it's contradictory. Um, he does use the Bible, but again, he like, and we see Ken Ham do this in a lot of his videos where he's just unaware that he's doing the very thing that he's talking about not doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Christian blindness.
yeah. So what he's getting ready to get into, just because I've broken kind of the flow of this, what he's getting ready to talk about is Christians are focusing on eschatology. So they're saying, why even waste your time building the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum? Because the end times are coming, as they've been saying since Jesus walked the earth,
Yes.
allegedly. And
Allegedly.
he's now going to lie to you. So here we go.
Built the Creation Museum and opened it in 2007, and the Ark Encounter was opened in 2016. And our research, carefully done research, indicates each year 70,000 people a year are saved as a result of the Ark Encounter, 30,000 at the Creation Museum. That's 100,000 people a year who say they trust Christ for salvation as a result of
Where do they
those
get those
attractions.
numbers? How do they get the
Yeah.
numbers, Joe? Like, I don't, like, do people write in? Do 100,000 people write in and say, I visited the Ark Encounter and got saved?
Yeah, so let's do some basic math real quick, okay?
Yeah.
So the Ark Encounter, whenever it was built, quoted the Grant County uh, executives, I guess, the Grant County commissioners, the that this place was going to bring 2 million visitors a year. It I think one year it got really close to that, but it does not reach that goal, and
No.
falls very short of it. But let's view it in the best light possible for them, as we try to do, and say that they're getting 2 million visitors a year.
Okay.
So 100,000 people would be 5%, right? 5%. Uh,
I am sucky at math. Don't ask me.
yeah. So Yeah, carefully done research. That was the dog whistle. That was the
That's true. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, but so they are claiming that, and mind you, again, they're not getting that number of visitors.
No.
So
I think, like, Dan Phelps posts every month the, monthly stats for visitors, and it's always low and going down.
right, right, yeah, yeah. They're not. I mean, they're profitable, but they're definitely not growing in popularity. Uh,
Yeah.
And that's why we do things like the art protests, so that people can go there where they are and speak out against the things they're doing and make other people aware of the things they're doing, so that, we can continue to take away from the number of children and people that are being um, indoctrinated slash
Yeah.
brainwashed into their form of science denial. Uh, so so yeah, but so this number, you're right. He says carefully done research. How do they come up with this? And if
What
this
is their
number's true,
methodology? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If this number's true, they they have a bigger turnover rate on uh, saving people than any church out there. And who is constantly saying, um, "Come get saved." Like the
Yes.
the art museum that is filled with animatronic Noahs and dinosaurs with saddles,
Mhm.
people are getting saved when that's not even part of the tour. Um,
No,
so that doesn't make a lot of sense. Um,
it makes none.
and I would go as far as to say that this is a straight lie. Uh, that they don't have
I think
any.
they, I believe we call this rectally sourced information, Joe.
Yes, yeah. This is one of those, like, they've assumed that it's 5%, and so they've came up with this nice round number of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just happened to be 100,000 too, by the way.
Yes.
Creationism, young Earth creationism specifically, is dwindling badly. If the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum were not only converting or saving 100,000 people a year, it wouldn't be shrinking; it would be growing at an
Yes.
enormous rate. And so, when you look at actual statistics like Pew Research, um, this just doesn't match what we see reported by the people that believe it. Uh, so yeah, no data, right, Ember. Um,
None.
Carefully researched, no sources, no data, just here's a number, and it's a big one. All right.
Actions. Now, if I'd have listened to those people who said Jesus is coming back soon, we shouldn't bother building these facilities, just look at the impact that these attractions have had, let alone the rest of the ministry. And I want to remind us of Luke chapter 19, verses 11 to 27. And there we have the parable of the 10 minas, when this nobleman entrusted resources to his servants, and then he said he was going to go away, and then he would come back and engage in business till I return. And there's more to that parable as well, but that's one of the main aspects of it. And of course, we know that the nobleman represents Jesus. Jesus entrusted resources to his servants. To each of us, he gives special resources or talents, gifts, and he expects us to invest them in the kingdom. In other words, use them for the Lord to engage in the business of the king till he returns. He ascended, he's going to return one day, and we have to give an account of how we use those gifts and talents that he has entrusted to us. And notice,
Okay.
Are you muted again?
Yes. Um, the so the problem here is Ken Ham is using his interpretation of this parable to fit his narrative at this moment. Whether whether that's the accepted interpretation or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What So I think the question to ask here is, what is the utility of Jesus speaking in riddles all the time?
Right? It's so Nostradamus.
Yeah. The so this allows, and I think it's,
Interpretation.
yeah, that's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
So that you
Yeah.
can interpret it to whatever you need it to mean.
Yeah.
Right. And part of part of that is apologetics, apologia in the Bible, where they're told to defend these things, and then the utility then becomes Jesus speaks in riddles so that you can take these riddles and make them mean what you want, which is what he
How many
does.
different churches are there? Like 40,000 different denominations of Christianity, something like that.
Yeah,
And they all interpret it a little bit different, but don't worry, they're the right ones, guys.
there's like new ones every week too.
Oh, damn.
um, but it's funny, there's new ones, but their numbers aren't growing. Uh, they just kind of divide and split off because it begs the question here of Ken Ham's interpretation is this. My interpretation I just gave you of why Jesus speaks in riddles is this. Like why, which one should we use and why? Back to methodology again, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you get there and why? And why is it Ken Ham's interpretation, who, by the way, is the person who's sitting saying you should take the Bible literally, is now taking it as metaphor. Do what you will with that. Uh,
Those that used them actually were rewarded, and the one that didn't was certainly disciplined. So it's a reminder to us that, you know what? When people say to me, what do you think about what's happening in the Middle East and so on, and all these wars, could it be that, Jesus' return is imminent? Well, certainly we're in the last days. We've been in the last days for the last 2,000 years since God's Son stepped into history to be the God-man and died on a cross and raised from the...
we agree.
Yes.
Yes. Christians have
For the
have
last
claimed,
2,000 years.
yes. Jesus, he'll be here any minute. Uh,
I think Jesus
so
has erectile dysfunction. He keeps saying he's coming, but there's nothing.
yeah, yeah. Um, and Austin, I see you out there. And good to see you, by the way, Austin. If you that's a donation link, but if you go to my Discord, which you're on, and you look at the Ark Encounter protest page there, or room, you'll find that there's ads and stuff, and we will put together like a media thing for people that want to do that, so that you can, here's a thing you can go and just play or show or whatever, and you don't have to dig all that up. We Jess literally just made um,
Yeah.
the stuff today, so we're we're getting that, and we'll make sure that's available for anyone that wants to share it. And I will be asking everyone to share that and making myself available to go do interviews and all that crap to promote this. So yeah, there'll be stuff available for that. But I appreciate the sentiment. But yeah, back to the thing. So Jesus has been coming back for 2,000 years. You know, one of the things that we kind of quote apologists on whenever we're interacting with them as atheists is that Jesus tells his followers, "I will return before the last of you tastes death." Uh, so Ken Ham would take that as before they lick death. Um, the I interpret it though as he was going to come back before those people die, and the most forgiving interpretation of that that some apologists make is that it meant the generation, the last generation.
None of that makes sense to me. It doesn't make
That's
any
already
sense to
occurred
me at
too, though,
all.
by the way.
Yeah.
Well, they try to argue that because there's a few people living that are like over 110 years old, that means that that generation hasn't passed or whatever. And it's a complete misunderstanding of the definition and how that word is used and what it means. And I think if you have a generation, the whole world is part of this generation, and then you only have two or three people of that generation, and a different generation is dominant, that your generation has passed. That's how I would take that. But you know, it doesn't work no matter how. It
Until
doesn't
we
work under
live
any of
till
the mainstream.
900.
What is it?
Because people back in the day used to live till they were 900. So the calculations are just off now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lots of old folks that continued to make incest babies.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And now Ken Ham runs the Incest and Genocide Museum, right?
he sure
Um,
does.
yeah. So there's that.
I think one of the things is like explaining this sign, the incest and genocide park, is that a lot of people, even they're not necessarily in the atheist community or anything, but they see the sign and it, I had mentioned this to somebody recently, and I had to explain how it was incest, and I was like, okay, so we have one family saved on a boat in water, everything else is dead. How did we get more people? And this person was like, oh, didn't think about it like that. Didn't think about the genocide, didn't think about how that would actually work because so many people are so disconnected from biblical literalism, um, that it's just so mind-boggling to them. And I just want to share that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was looking for a picture of the sign. I have one somewhere. I just don't know what I did with it. But yeah, and Godless Granny, who is going to be a speaker at the event, this is, she tells this story of how
Yeah.
she reads this sign, and at first she sees it as pure hyperbole, and then she's like, oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That that is what it says, and it takes a bit of intellectual honesty with yourself at some point, to say, well, okay, it is claimed that this family of Noah's sons and their wives populated the whole world. That would have to
Yeah.
be incest. I mean, that is the definition of what that means. Like, there's no way around it. And genocide, if God kills everyone on the earth but 8 people, that's genocide. Like, it's
That's a
not.
genocide.
It's not like there's some big reach to get there, or that like atheists are being negative, and it's definitely not hyperbole. It is the story that is told.
Hmm.
Just because they choose to focus on the supernatural magic parts of it doesn't mean that what they're saying doesn't fall within um, actual definitions that mean actual things in reality. Uh,
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree completely. You got to go for now, Austin. Well, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for stopping by. I forget we're on Jess's channel too. I probably shouldn't cuss people.
Like, what?
uh, I'm just joking, Austin. Thanks for stopping by, man. And Jimmy Tux is here to take your place, so it's okay. Uh, uh, but uh, but yeah. So I mean, again, you have Ken Ham, AIG, and all these other fundamentalists that want to talk about taking the Bible literally for what it says. But then whenever you say this is a story of incest and genocide, they have a problem with it when that's you.
Yeah,
You're being the biblical literalist at this point, right?
yeah,
I'm allowing for your precept, and now I'm saying this is what's going on because it is, and then that's when you want to, no, we need to interpret it a different way, like
yeah.
the special pleading and stuff that's required to get there is just the irony again, like we're seeing here, like just the unable to be aware of the stupid thing that they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dead and ascended into heaven. Yeah, we're in the last days. We know that today, when you're watching this, we're more last than we were yesterday. We just don't know how.
We're more last than we were. What a horrible sentence. Uh,
Every day we're drawing closer to the end.
Today we're more last than we were. Yes, we're more last. I don't even know if that's. Can you be more
I think he
last?
just means like last days. Am I wrong there?
I think what he means is we're one day closer to whenever Jesus comes back, right? That's what he
Yeah,
means.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um, but the way that he words it is weird because more last is not a. It's a. What do you call that?
Oh, jeez.
Contradiction, really. It's
It is a contradiction.
yeah. But it's a weird way to say things. He spent too much time in Kentucky. But but yeah. Maybe Jesus meant he'll be back before humanity ceases to exist, like before the meteor hits or before climate change takes us out. Oh, whatever.
Oh, we're
So
not planning on the meteor for another several years, guys. Don't worry about the meteor. I got it covered.
uh, the that's supposed to happen this year, isn't it? Like August. Uh, there's a rapture every year, like
There
the
is. Yes.
all the Christians freak out on YouTube about every 6 months and say the world's coming to an end because the moon looked funny or it was cold or because
Yes.
like Jesus was on a piece of toast. Like that's a deep cut there. The but the like that, I mean, this again. We're back to like this is just their thing, where it's like Jesus is always coming back, and he never does. And you speak of like the climate change or the asteroid. I can guarantee you, when climate change takes us out,
Mm.
when we destroy ourselves finally, uh, it will be Jesus. They will claim that it's Jesus that did it,
Oh, yes. Oh,
and
yes.
he didn't mean literally came back. He came back in the form of climate change. Whatever it is, and this reflects too, like people I meet in this area say like, oh, climate change doesn't matter because we can't actually destroy the world because the Bible says that Jesus has to come back and do that. Like, so we can't do it because it has to happen that way, and this is right. Um, so that means if you use that sort of logic, that means no matter what the problem is, you get to say that it was Jesus because that's the only way that it could be. Um,
True.
it allows for your ignorance. And one of my favorite things to say here lately has been, like whenever you accept magic as the possible answer to anything, it becomes the possible answer for everything. Like, if you allow magic to be part of the natural world, which is kind of a weird statement, um, you no longer have the tools to assess what's going on around you, because there's always the possibility that it's some supernatural thing. I get to miracle, miracle. It was a miracle.
It was a
Um,
miracle.
yeah, miracle.
Miracle.
Yeah, we love toast. Captive test. Yeah. Threw that in there for you, huh? All right, I'll let him go on smooching Jesus.
How last we are. And that's the point. We don't know how last we are. Remember, when the prophecy was given concerning the Savior back in Genesis 3:15, it was 4,000 years later that it was fulfilled. Jesus said he's going to return. That was 2,000 years ago. That's only 2,000 years ago. Could it be there's another 1,000 years, 2,000 years? We don't know. I remember when
Mark this date on your calendar, folks. A Christian has admitted they don't know something. Uh,
Hilarious.
I'm so disrespectful about it, aren't I? The um, First of all, he went on with the whole more last whatever, like but he says that we don't know, but so I'm not going to rewind it because I don't want to hear all that again, but he puts about like five presuppositions, assumptions, however you want to say it, into what he just said. Like, there is a whole bunch of shit he just assumed was true right there, and
Yes.
then got to this conclusion of we don't know, when he could have started there. Uh, he didn't need to do all that to say he didn't know. We don't know.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I've got a migraine brewing. How much longer is the clip, do you think?
The clip is like 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Uh, but we're not even gonna watch all of that. So
Okay.
how about this? I'll play it from here, and we'll stop. I think it's about a minute is where because the end of it's just him,
Okay.
restating all the things he already stated.
All the things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll play it, and we'll let this last minute play out. We'll talk about it and wrap up. Because I
All right.
intended
Thank
for
you,
this
Joe.
to only go an hour, actually. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And I was a young person, and the minister in our church, an elderly gentleman, he said the signs of the times are such that it's obvious Jesus is going to return very soon. That was like, 50 plus years ago, and Jesus hasn't come back yet. And in the meantime, we're on about the business of the King, to do what we can to proclaim the truth of God's word and the gospel, which is what we should be on about. Now, please don't get me wrong. Yes, Jesus could come back at any time. I've had people tell me, surely we're in the days of Noah. Look how bad things are. Well, are they really that bad? You say, well, look what's happening in our culture. Is it as bad as the days of Noah? Because in the days of Noah, it says the heart of all those people was against God. There was only one righteous Noah. It was only 8 people that went on that ark. None of the rest believed. None of the rest believed God. Now think about it today. There's more than 8 people who trust Christ for salvation. There's millions in America.
All right. So we don't need to go on about him, stroking creationism. The uh, so I think this is probably where he differs with most Christians, and probably where him and Kent Hovind have problems. Um, he previously just said that we're in the end times, and the end times are defined as this horrible time, but then makes the case for we're not in this horrible time because it was so much worse for Noah. Uh, I don't know, like I don't think that what he's saying matches up with mainstream Christianity, which he, instead of taking from that, oh, this 50-year-old anecdote he gives as a reason to think, oh, well, this may not be true, he somehow twists it into it's definitely true, so I'm going to use this 50-year-old anecdote to reinforce my ignorance of the subject.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Uh, but yeah. So Ken Ham,
And ham.
spoiled ham at that.
Spoiled ham.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
I enjoy watching Ken Ham because he looks like a cartoon character, like a Ned Flanders, but Australian and a cult leader.
yeah, yeah. He is a strange looking fellow. He's and like he says and does weird things too that kind of like fit that whole picture. Uh, so yeah, I agree. He's almost like a cartoon character, and then when you take into account the silly things he's saying, he is even more so. Um,
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, um, that's it. Okay, babe. Uh, that's that's it. That's what we got for today. Uh,
It's all
you
she wrote.
know, yeah. I really enjoyed us doing this again, Jess.
I loved it.
Yes,
If it
it's so
wasn't
much
for the
fun
headache, I
to,
would want to keep going though. Like I'm having
yeah.
a really good time and more people are showing up. Like, I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry.
Why don't next week on Spoiled Ham, which will be Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, uh, why don't we look at some of the archaeological claims of AIG? I think that's up your alley,
I would
right?
enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, and
And I've got
so,
a video coming out soon on the evolution of creationism. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well as like a
oh,
little reference to Ken Ham.
Kent,
I will show you later, Joe, before I put it live. Get your opinion.
Kent will have to add a seventh version of evolution to his list of different
Oh, yes,
evolutions.
that's true.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but we'll make sure that we inform him that there's now seven. Uh,
Yes.
which
Yes.
yeah, but so anyway, yeah, Arc Encounter protest information available on my Discord. We'll eventually have a website put up. The the donation link has been there. It is. The donation link has been floating through chat there. If you want to help, there's lots of things, drinks, uh, generators, gas,
First aid.
lots of little things that we have to get, and every dollar helps. So, donate a dollar. Don't put yourself out to do. Don't. I know things are tough right now. This is a really important event, though, where we go to the source and we show them that we oppose what they're doing, and it brings people together in a way that no other event does, and we all suffer out there in the heat together to speak out against this, and uh, every dollar helps. So please help us do this thing to make the 10th anniversary the biggest and best yet, so we can continue this thing. Um,
Yeah.
Jess, how to roll an asteroid? Go over there, do the things.
For
Um,
the things.
yeah.
where I get to talk
Uh,
in weird voices and am somehow louder over there than I am live. I don't know.
your voiceovers are amazing. Uh,
Thank you.
it's the echo cancellation is what causes your sound. By the way, uh,
Oh, gotcha.
you know the it's the it's. I'll show you later. Um,
Okay, thank
but
you.
uh, but yeah, thanks for being here. We'll be back next week. We'll talk about some of the archaeological claims of AIG on Spoiled Ham, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for coming. Jess, you got anything else?
Follow Joe if you haven't. He's amazing, and one day I will be able to embarrass him and talk about all the amazing things that he does. Um, because last year he planned such an amazing protest, and without him, none of that would have been possible. He is an absolutely amazing person. He's got a heart of gold. His family is amazing. Follow Joe. Do it.
Well, thank you for